yoga to younger elementary school teachers. And she has her own company called Little Feet Yoga. I love the name. Um, and she's presently teaching, remind me, Catherine, because I can't find it.
The Western Quebec School Board, and the name of the school is Pierre Elliott Trudeau Elementary School. So it's the K to 6.
Oh, right.
School.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
So without further ado, I'm going to let Catherine take over. This is an interactive workshop, and I hope you all will enjoy yourself as much as I plan to.
So thank you. I'm delighted to be here. And I was wondering if I could have a view of all the participants just for a little bit. Roberta, is it possible so I can see more of the participants before we, or do I just see them the way they are now, just at the top?
I'm not sure how, are you? Okay, so what you'll need to do is go to the top right where it says view.
Right, view.
Okay.
And go gallery.
Okay. Hi, everybody. So I'm very happy to be here. So yes, I've done many things in the last 20 some years, and I started as a phys ed teacher. And when I discovered yoga, and I played. I don't do yoga, I play, because doing brings us in our head. So I play, which is the language of children. I play yoga. I discovered that I teach not only the body, but I teach the heart. And children, as we know, have tremendous heart. They have huge hearts. And yoga is just a self-care, take-care approach to discover all the wonder and the beauty inside. So tonight, I will show you what I've been exploring. And I have to admit that this approach that I developed was when I was a kindergarten teacher, and I decided to get out of my own way and to get out of the way of the children. And I just observed, and I said, who are those children? And what do they like? What gets them going? And I started exploring, and three things came to mind: play, cooperation, and creativity. So tonight we'll explore that. And if there's children with you, that's great. If not, we're already children in grown-up bodies, so it doesn't matter. We're still children. And we're gonna try and connect with that little inner child. And the one thing that you don't need any experience. You don't need to be to have been practicing for many years. All you need is, and that's what I tell children, all you need is to be curious. And I find that's a high form of intelligence, curiosity, because it triggers the brain to ask more questions and to wonder. Be curious about everything, how your body feels, how your emotion feels, and pretty much that's yoga. And from curiosity and that feeling comes freedom, and then wonder. So enjoy. So the first thing we're going to do, are there any children? No, here, or it's just us? Okay, we're just big children. That's awesome. So the first thing we're going to do, so the first thing we will do is I want to show you my skeleton in the back. Can you see? It's my skeleton over there. And I put it, I'm in my daughter's room, so I put it over her vines because yoga has as much to do with nature as pose do. So I put my skeleton there, and on my skeleton, there's a heart. And this is something that I actually use in the school with the children to show them that this is the most important part, is what we don't see with the eyes, is the heart. So the first thing we will do is pretend that we're taking our adult brain and we're taking it and we're moving and we removing it and leaving it at the door. So that we're really committing the next time, this next little bit of time together to try to reconnect with our inner child. So don't worry, nobody's watching. Just let yourself be wild and let yourself be free, because that's in the experience that you will feel the benefits and how good it is for the kids. Okay. So one thing that I do with the children, and I started it recently with the children, is I call it the Yogi Chef. And basically it's tools that we use to slow down our brain. Like we want to tell it, like I explained to them, we need the brain and the body to talk. Sometimes the brain is busy and the body is calm. So I use something called my peaceful time in. So these are different tools that we can do, that we can practice, and it slows down our brain and it slows down our body. So it involves closing the eyes. And I know it's hard for children sometimes to close the eyes. So we use the body and we use the hands to help us. So over here, we have the flower. Over here, I call this the warm bath to the eyes, because we rub our hands first and then we just cup the eyes. Over here, and with the older children, I call this the reboot, whether it's teenagers or older elementary children, because they know what rebooting a phone or a computer is. So it's like rebooting our energy. So they connect to that imagery. And this is monkey see, monkey speaks, and monkey hears. So we cut off all the senses, and so we can only breathe and we look within. And here is our favorite. The children love this one, and it's great before going to bed. It's the turtle. So I'll show you all of them. And the Yogi Chef is you get to choose which one you feel like doing tonight. Okay. So first there's the flower. So you go like this, and then you just open your hands like this. So like I tell the kids, you put some glue over here, and then you just glue your thumbs and your little fingers, and then you blow your favorite color on the flower. And then you smell it 3 times. Imagine the most beautiful flower under your nose, and then you smell it 3 times. That's the flower. The warm bath to the eyes. Hands are basically the extension of the heart. So we rub the hands and imagine the energy of the heart through the hands. And there's kind of a magnetic pull that we do when we rub the hands. And then we cup our eyes like that. And we just give a break to our eyes, because our eyes are really, really useful tools, but sometimes they don't filter anymore what we see. So when you open your eyes, try to look with fresh eyes. Look at the world around you with fresh eyes. One that's not on my time in, why I call it a time in is because we go inside the body as opposed to outside, is the seashell. That's another one that children love a lot. So the seashell is basically when we go to the beach and we found a beautiful seashell, the thing that we want to do is listen to the beach. So when it's really, really quiet, and the imagery really resonates with the children. So when it's really quiet, we just glue all the fingers together except the thumbs, and then we cup the hands over the ears. And you imagine being at the ocean. And then you try both ears, because there was actually one child this week that by doing this discovered that he hears more on this side than this side, which is huge discovery. This is something in school that's not really, we don't ask children, which side do you hear more? Which side do you feel you're stronger? Or it's not just that to say this is a better side or a weaker side, but it can help in a school. It can help in life to know I hear better from this one and this one. So one exercise can have several purposes and goals and objectives and results. And of course, the favorite, the turtle. So this is you using the entire body to go within. When the turtle is quiet and when the turtle is feels tired and busy, what does the turtle do? It goes inside the shell. So when your head feels busy and it feels like a beehive, then it's the same thing. We can use our body and transform our body and go inside our shell. So I'm just going to move my screen so you can actually see. So basically, and yoga is a conversation with the body. That's one thing I tell the kids. It shouldn't hurt. So when it's hurt, it's because we're pushing our bodies to go further. So then the body is ready. So what we do is we put the hands in the middle, our legs, and then we slide them under or just rest them on top, and then round your back. That's your turtle shell, and then lower your head. And then go see your magic. You go see your magic inside. And then you slowly come up. These are all tools that we can share with the children. And now I'm going to ask you, like I asked the children, to be your own chef, to be your own yogi chef. So of all the ones that you've tried now, which one really resonated with you? And I'm going to give you just a few moments just to not to practice it, but to live it, to experience it. So is it the flower? Is it the seashell? Is it the turtle? Is it the warm bath to the eyes? And then I'm inviting you to stay in that moment. And I'm going to play the bowl for you. And I call it the magic bowl because it's truly has a powerful feeling inside and actually is beneficial for the nervous system. So I'm inviting you to slowly come back. And before we sing, singing is such a connecting activity. I always start classes with connecting, not just collecting, but connecting, and connecting through the heart. So whether it's a group movement or a song, and then before we do that, I just want to show you this little thing here. I call it my rainbow ball. And it does, it's a visual that really, really, really connects with children. So I say that the ball is like the belly. And then and the belly is like a balloon. So when we put air in the balloon, it fills up like this. And then we gently let the air out. And I like to start with a quote from Mother Teresa. And Mother Teresa once said, let us always meet each other with a smile, for a smile is the beginning of love, friendship, anything that happens in the heart. So let's rub our hands and let's share a smile. And now we're going to sing. Open the arms.
The sun comes up, the flowers bloom. The rain comes down, the flowers grow. People dancing everywhere. The sun comes up again. The sun comes up, the flowers bloom. The rain comes down, the flowers grow. People dancing everywhere. The sun comes up again.
This is the best part. I love me. En français, je. Make sure you switch the arm, not always the one on top. So you get the two sides of the brain working. One last time.
The sun comes up, the flowers bloom. The rain comes down, the flowers grow. People dancing everywhere. The sun comes up again.
Very nice. Thank you for singing with me, even though I couldn't hear you. I know you were singing. And using songs like that helps us, get the body moving while connecting at the same time. So now we're just going to do a little bit of warm up. I have a few slides to show you after, but we're just going to do a little bit of a warm up. But like I tell the kids, I use a lot of visuals, and yoga is inspired by the animal and the natural world. And kids are naturally drawn to that. So I tell them about elephant ears because elephants have big ears so they can hear and listen what's going on around them. And in our ears, we have little sensors. And when we trigger them, they sort of open up our hearing. So let's rub our ears just a little bit, just like if we had elephant ears. And then I also say that we have owl eyes. Why owl eyes? Because we can see in the dark. So it seems less scary for the kids, but also because seeing in the dark means when we close our eyes, we actually see other things. We actually open up other senses. We get to see with fresh eyes. So I explain that to the children. So we have elephant ears and owl eyes. So now I'm going to ask you a question. Why yoga is so fun to use in school is because you can easily integrate it with parents. You can easily integrate it in whatever you're doing. So right now, springtime is here. So we think of bugs and insect. So we're going to do some warm-ups, and I call them yoga jacks instead of jumping jacks, the yoga jacks. So that means we're going to repeat them twice. So who can tell me, so we can unmute the participants, you can unmute yourself. I would need 3 bugs or insects that we usually find while they're coming back in the spring. So what could one be?
Bee.
A bee, okay. Number 1.
Butterfly.
Butterfly.
Praying mantis.
Praying mantis? Oh, wow. I was not expecting that, but yay. Okay.
Where's your backyard?
Usually we get ladybug.
I actually found one in my backyard last year.
Okay. Okay. So bee, butterfly, and praying mantis. Okay, so we're gonna get moving. Okay, so a bee, if you can stay sitting down, but a bee. Actually, no, let's start with the butterfly. We're going to switch them up because it's going to be easier to move up. So butterfly, I'm going to move back here. We put some glue under our feet and we glue the feet together like this. We have beautiful paint brushes, really good to make the fingers move for, to activate the tiny muscles. There's so many muscles and bones in there. And then using your paint brushes, you paint the colors on your butterfly, which at the same time, you give yourself a massage. But children, for them, it's painting. But at the same time, it makes them feel good. Don't forget the back, the heart, the neck, and behind the ears. And then so we fly like a butterfly, fly like a butterfly. And if you feel daring, you can even do it on a chair. Bring your 2 feet on the chair. All right, so butterfly. And then to bee, we're going to cross the legs. And then for a bee, you can stay sitting or you can sit on your heels and put your bee wings on. And I call those roller coaster shoulders because you can move in all types of directions and it's actually waking up the back and the spine. And then you can go from side to side and then you can buzz like a bee, which is the best part. So you go then to our fabulous praying mantis. So we're going to go up to standing. So first we're going to warm up our yoga shoes. Our yoga shoes are your feet. So you can give them a massage to your feet because they're like the roots of a tree. They help us to feel grounded. And then basically what you're going to do is going to imagine that you're sitting on a chair, just like this, sitting on a chair. And then you're going to do praying mantis, just like that. And then big twist of the back. And then you try both sides because they might feel different. Very good. Awesome. Now the best part, we do it again. So, V, and without knowing, we're targeting all kinds of muscles and stretching and becoming. The power of yoga is transformation. So massage, paint your wings, and now you can do your wings like this or do your antenna. I like to tell the children that butterflies have antenna over here. We have antenna in our bellies because we sense things. Because antenna for butterflies, they help them feel things around them. So I usually relate what happens with the animals and how we can sort of identify with that in our own body, in our own life. So butterfly, to be. And now the bee is moving up and moving and stretching and moving all around, and then slowing down to become and transform into a praying mantis. Feel the stretch on your back. Very good. And now my turn. I'm gonna add the dragonfly. So the dragonfly, basically, it's a balance challenge. So we're balancing on one leg, and your eyes, like I asked children, your eyes want to look at something that's moving or not moving? Not moving, because your eyes are so close to your brain. If your eyes move, everything else wants to move. And then, so, but it's a soft gaze. So look at something that's not moving, and then just lift up your foot just a little bit, and you can rest it on your other foot, and then you open your dragonfly wing. I love the word dragonfly en français. It's libellule. I think it's such a beautiful word. You can open them like this if you want, and it helps to open up the chest. And then, of course, we need to try on both sides to really feel how our body's reacting. Very good. And then we stand straight. And I call this the happy mountain. So the happy mountain, this is a sad mountain. I call this the happy mountain. And I told children this week, I said, we learn a whole bunch of stuff in kindergarten and grade 1 and all through our schooling. And there's one thing I want you to learn this year with yoga is to do your happy mountain. And because it's how you show yourself to the world, it helps you to breathe better, it helps you to stand better, and your emotions feel better. So happy mountain, I ask them to put one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly. So that's the connection. And the hands and the heart are really closely connected. And then they close their eyes. And then we do our balloon belly. So we go big balloon, small balloon, big balloon. Very good. All right. So I wanted us to get moving. We're going to move a little bit more after, but I just want to show you some of the things that you can also do or prepare at home or with the children you're with. Some of the things that we do. One thing to remember is that yoga, for a lot of people, it's about calm and relaxation and slowing down, which is true. For kids, it's all about transformation. They love Transformers. Yoga is about transformation. They can transform. The word for poses in yoga is called asanas, but from the Sanskrit. And if you translate that word, it means to be. So I think it's a beautiful image to understand that when you do a pose, you just are the pose. You don't do the pose. See, I just said do the pose because it's mechanically said, but it's we are the pose. So for children, that's what it is. It's the power of transformation, of becoming who they want to be within the parameters. But that's the magic of yoga, and that's why it's so inclusive, and that's why it's the kids relate to this when it's done in a playful way. So some of the things that we do with the children in school is that we or you can do at home is you can take a book, for example, like that. It could be any book. I love the Eric Carle's book and The Mixed Up Chameleon. And a lot of the books have messages in them, but then the books, we make them come alive. We transform the book. For example, in my book, there's a chameleon, and the chameleon is so sad because he's comparing himself to, I'm sure you know this book, comparing himself to everybody and thinking that he's just a boring chameleon because all he does is change colors. And, you know, he just sticks his tongue out to get the bug. But then he goes to a zoo and he starts becoming, he starts looking at the animal and how, oh, they're so much better than who he is. So we start becoming the animals. So he goes and sees a polar bear. So we go and become a polar bear. And then we go on and then we become a flamingo. Oh, the flamingo is way better because the flamingo is so handsome and the chameleon is not handsome, and so on and so on and so on and so on. So we transform. So I don't read the book. I am the book and we become the book. And then the kids realize by becoming this, the kids realize at the end that, okay, what's the message that we're trying to figure out here? And then he becomes a turtle, or it's so heavy and things like that. So because of time, we don't have time to do it, but it's just to show you that it can be easily integrated in literature as well, in the books you have at home. I used to do that with my own children. Something that also that we do is that for example, we do something like this. This is called the thank you jar. This is, but it was renamed the happy jar by children. So every class I go with the children in the class, and then I take little beads like this, and then I put them in the lid, and then we do the happy mountain on the hand on the heart and the hand on the belly, and then we think of something we're thankful for. It could be but something that's alive, and it has to be something that's already in your life, not something that you want to buy at the store. And some people might think that children, like preschoolers, are too young for that, but they're not. It's beautiful what the children can come up with. A preschooler told me, I'm so grateful I have food to eat tonight. So I'm so thankful that I have my friends. And it just connects them to the here and the now, to, oh, what is it that I have, not that I want? So this are all thank yous for my little ones at school. And then we mix them up, and then so they know that all their thank yous, they're all mixed up. So this is something you can do. You can take a little baby mason jar or any jar, beads, very simple, and it becomes a ritual. Spring is a great time to plant new seeds, like physical seeds for flowers. This is one seed that we can plant, the seed of gratefulness. And like I said, an attitude of gratitude. And we even made a rap with that, an attitude of gratitude. And then we start using our senses and using music and an attitude of gratitude. And then you can go on, and the kids really love that. And they call it the happy jar. And they all say, oh, I want to see some thank yous to something, and thank you to my mom for making cookies this morning, or things like that. So this is one thing that in the house, in the school, anywhere you can share. It could be a special moment to share with a child also. Okay. And another thing that we've done, that I do with the kids, is I want to show you some of the things that they've done, it's reversed for you, but it says kindness feels like. So yoga is not just about the poses. The poses are just the gateway or the entryway, or like the body, the springboard to something that's bigger, a story, a theme. something that they want to become. And we also use values like kindness. And for them, I say, how does it feel like using the sensory? Yoga can be sensory, multi-sensory as well. So kindness feels like, here we know, soft as a rabbit fur. It looks like a rainbow. And then the other one that I'm trying to look, oh, there it is. It tastes like ice cream. So a lot of children, it's easier for them to express themselves through visuals than words. So this speaks millions, like kindness tastes like ice cream or tasty like ice cream. So this is another thing that we do. One thing that we can start in that we teach children is that to be well in our bodies, it's not just about exercising, it's about all of this. So we started a Be Well journal. So it's a take care journal. And what it says is we need to take care of the heart to feel good. We need to be surrounded by people we can play with, we can share with, healthy choices with food. We need to move our body. We need to slow down our body and connect with what's going on inside. Yoga helps. And sleep and Tweety Bird. So I use Tweety Bird. So, and in there, just some of the things that we've done so far is, I know at the other workshop I was at, the early years, we talked about the invisible string. I used the invisible string. This is what the result of it. So yeah, so this was Evelyn, and this is her mama, and she feels connected to her mama. So that's her invisible string. And then when we were talking about kindness, every week we had something to think about. What is kindness? Taking care of yourself is kindness, which is something that sometimes as adults we forget. Treating others with respect, transforming. So for a lot of people, this is one pose. This is a down dog pose. No, at Christmas time, this is a gingerbread house. If we talk about we're flying over the world and we stopped in Egypt, what would this be? This is a pyramid, or this could be a mountain. So the beauty of yoga is that it could be anything. And now it's springtime. So what could this be for springtime? So if I say, I am a bee and I'm looking for a home or a house, where would I go? And the kids would say, a beehive. There's your beehive. So the power of transformation. So the pose can be transformed, and the body can be transformed. So that's one thing. That's another thing that we do. I'm looking at all my stuff here and I'm trying, there's so many things I want to share, but those are some of the things. But at the heart of everything, what we want to do is this: teaching the importance of moving and slowing down. So the sun and the moon. One way that we do that is that every time, even in a yoga class, I can share with the kids that we move so we can relax more. But to relax, we need to move. So everything goes hand in hand. When the sun comes up, the moon goes down. When the moon goes up, the sun comes down. So I repeat that all the time to the children. And I think as adults, this is something that's very important in our very highly productive, performance-oriented society. And that's why springtime is to plant the seed of curiosity and the seed of slowing down. because we're always waking up. It's like moving fast. So I'm going to show you a few slides, and I'm not going to let you go without having a relaxation after. So we're going to do a little sequence, a quiet sequence after, but I'm going to show you a few slides. So here we go. Let's see if I can, over here and share. Can you see that? Okay. So this is my favorite quote, and this is how I see children. They're kinesthetic, they're social, they're creative, they're imaginative, they're naturally attracted to the natural world, so animals and things like that. But how they get that information is through dancing, tasting, touching, hearing, seeing, and feeling that information. And that's how despite my years of teaching, that's the best way that I connect with with the children at the school. Angie Newston, the possible human, she's the one who said that. So yoga, why yoga? So I used to teach yoga to kids, then it was yoga with kids, and now it's the yoga of kids, because I learn from them and I take some of their ideas all the time. So I develop my own training, and some of the ideas come from them. So why yoga? Because it honors who they are. It doesn't require anything. Their starting point is the best point ever. And whomever they are, yoga is accessible to them. It reinforces what they already know by tapping into their creativity. And I've always thought that it's not enough to provide very stimulating environment. It's also good to tap into what they already know, because they know a lot already. It allows them to be. We've talked about that. It values them as children and not mini adults. So it's not yoga for adults that's taught to children. And the word for health is swasta. Swasta is the Sanskrit word for holistic health. It's being grounded. So to be grounded within yourself. So that's why I relate a lot to the tree. I teach a lot of the symbolism of the tree to the children. Your body is a tree. Your feet are like the roots of a tree. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. Just let me know. Catherine, I need to talk to you. One thing is in our times, I find the importance of preserving the innocence of children. And we can help it also by ourselves as adults connecting with our inner child. Because I've worked with a researcher from University of Ottawa at one point, and we started working with grade 5 and 6s. And this is what they told me. The kids wanted less pressure to perform. They wanted more creativity. They want to be inspired and engaged. They want more cooperation. They're 10 years old and they already feel the heaviness of competition. So it's when we start early to teach them ways to be as opposed to do, that they don't have to be anyone else, but to be themselves and discover who they are. It's a great tool and that we're giving them for life. And the adults, they love for the children to be more relaxed, less anxious, more confident, to know themselves more inside and out. So I find that the medium, yoga for me is just a medium. It's not an end. I just use it as a way to get there. And how do we do it? Like I said, we get out of our own way and we look through the eyes of children. So do we have time? Oh, just a little bit. So we're going to play a game. I call it a moon game. Children love playing games. So I'm going to show you 3 cards. So I'm going to stop sharing. And I'm going to show you 3 cards. And it's basically a memory game. So I mean, in different things, in different things that we do in school or whether at home, we love the kids to the executive function of the brain. We'd like to have them develop. So you can do it through a game. And this game is basically, I show you 3 yoga poses. Then you close your eyes. You do the warm back to the eyes. I take one. And then when you open your eyes, you don't tell me which one's missing. You show me with your body. Okay. For example, if I take this one out, well, you become the beehive. Okay. So we're actually going to play. So I want you to show me with your body. Okay. So I'm going to show you the teapot, which is for a lot of us is a triangle, but this is a teapot. So the teapot, or it could be the Eiffel Tower. I've used this in the older grades with, I call this the Eiffel Tower. So the Eiffel Tower, of course, the tree, could be a cactus tree too. And then how about the beehive? Okay, so we have 3 poses. Okay, so we have the Eiffel Tower, the tree, or the beehive. So now I want you to close your eyes. And I'm going to show you 2 cards. Kids, for some reason, love this game. They love it. And then, which one is missing? Open your eyes. Yay. The Eiffel Tower. So you get to play with their memory, and at the same time, they get to move their body and stretch. And it brings them together. So yeah. And sometimes after I take 2 poses and I say, okay, with a partner, come up with a way of connecting those 2 poses together. So there goes the cooperation and things like that. So let's go back to sharing. So that was just an example of how we just play games. We don't know how it's going to turn out, but we just play games. And then let's go a little faster. So do we want our mind full or to be mindful? So it's a matter of reimagining what we teach our children and how we share things with our children based on their needs by looking at them, observing them. I've taken a path of, I was trained as a teacher, but I've chosen to take a path of offering pathways of being first. And then I know that if you feel good in your body, then if the stress is moved away, then you're more receptive to learning. And yoga with the tools, some of the tools I gave you helps that. Sun and the moon, we talked about that. The importance of showing that to move, we need to rest, and to rest, we need to move. And to have a balanced diet between structure and spontaneity. Yeah, it's scary. We don't know what's going to happen, but it's a co-creative process, which is great because you discover things about yourself and the children discover things as well. Active and reflective moments on facilitating and teaching inspiration versus motivation. Inspiration, inspirare, inspiration en français comes from within, not outside. And this is the practice that I do with children. These are the 3 things: play, create, cooperate. Play to laugh, to share, to solve problems. Create to participate, to more creation, more participation. And we tend to retain a little bit more too when we create because this comes from us. And cooperate to connect with ourselves, others, and the world. And we did a little bit of that today. What you want to awaken in others needs to be awakened in you first. I saw that somewhere and I apologize. I can't remember. I can't find it anywhere, but I truly believe that if you experience for yourself, that's how I experienced yoga for myself and shared it with the kids. And that's how I realized it's so good for me. I'm going to see if it's good for them. And it truly is beneficial for them because it provides them tools and ways to connect with themselves, to know, to feel, to connect and feel their emotion. So at home, what you can do is you can create a little corner. They can do a Be Well journal. I could send you some of the things that I've made. You can have beads. They can start a thank you jar. I also have a yoga diamond. I use the heart, and I show them. Stop sharing. I'm going to stop sharing. And this is a heart. Could be anything. I take it at the arts and crafts store, and I put them on their forehead when they're lying down on the ground. And then they're just lying like this, and it prevents them from moving. So they learn because they tend to fidget. But to them, it's magical to have that on their forehead. So they go like this. And then I tell them, if your hands get busy, you rest them on the belly. And I share this image with them. I use a lot of pictures of animals, like the frog. That's actually a real picture of a frog. And if your hands get busy, do like the frog. And that's another thing. Use a lot of pictures of animals if you want. These little tools are really great. So at school, we call it a heart corner, but at home, they can have a little section that's just for them. And one thing, it was Earth Day last week. I brought different types of stones with different meanings. And I tell them, you feel nervous? Just rub the stone. Just do that kind of stuff. And this feels like a rock, so you might be grounded when we're too busy. Maybe we need that rock because it brings us down to the ground and things like that. This, when we feel heavy, maybe we need that rock because it looks like the sky. So it brings us up. So those are some of the things that you can do. So I don't know if we still have time, but we could have a little relaxation and I could guide you through it. Is that okay? Or we can stop there. We can take just 5 minutes. Would you like that? Yeah. Okay, good. Say 30 anyways. So yeah, it's going to prepare us for bed. One thing I forgot to tell you is any time that the head is below the heart level, it triggers the parasympathetic nervous system. So the nervous system that's responsible for relaxation. So when you do, for example, when kids get anxious, they can, if they do like rag doll, something like this, bending their knees a little bit. The turtle, for example, is also really good. Or the child's pose, sleeping baby. Babies they figured it all out a long time ago. They sleep like this. And this is very relaxing pose. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to take you to a sleepy nature routine that I do with the children. So I take them through animals, which are pretty much traditional yoga poses, but in the world of children, they're animals. So we start with a sleeping bat. So you can just lie down on the ground. You don't need to be in front of your screen. And the sleeping bat, basically, it's a candle. So it sleeps upside down, right? So you bring your legs up, your back is on the ground, and your legs are up. And then we're going to tickle the stars with our toes. So you can make movement with your feet. Wiggle your toes and tickle the sun, tickle the stars, your favorite star, your favorite constellation with your 10 toes. And then we're going to bring the bottom of our feet together. And we're going to turn into a sleeping butterfly. So the feet, the bottom of the feet are together. So the knees are apart. And then you slowly, your head is on the ground. You slowly bring the outside of your feet touching the ground. So now instead of sitting butterfly, you're lying down butterfly. And you can bring your butterfly wings. So your arms over your head and hold on to your elbows. And then we're going to turn slowly into a cocoon. So the cocoon is bringing your knees onto your belly and just holding them lightly with your arms. And then finally, we're becoming a sleepy mountain. So instead of being a standing up mountain, we're a sleepy mountain. So we're lying down thin as a pin on the ground, and you just let yourself be. There's nowhere we need to go. Nowhere, nothing we have to do. Just simply be. Closing the eyes. Swallowing helps to relax the throat. Closing the eyes wakes up a whole new world. I'm going to ring my bowl 3 times. You listen to it once. You listen to it twice. At the sound of the 3rd tap, we're going to wiggle our roots. You imagine your body as a tree. We want it to grow strong, so we need strong roots, strong feet, standing strong on our feet. So you're going to wiggle your toes at the 3rd sound. So we're wiggling our toes, wiggling our finger branches. You can make circles with your wrists and your ankles. You can bring your trunk, so your knees onto your belly, becoming a seed, waking up the back by maybe moving from side to side. And then rolling to one side and slowly come up to sitting. And then this hand is the sun. This hand is the moon. I didn't get to do this, I don't think, with my last session, so I want to do it with you. So I say, when the sun comes and meets the moon, they share and they say, namaste, namaste, which means my sunshine sees your sunshine. Or for adults, is the teacher within me sees the teacher within you. And then it makes me happy, healthy, groovy. I'm a super yogi. I am love. I am light. I am smart. And I shine bright. Thank you very, very much for being with me. And that was just a little taste. And I'm sure you'll have my information if you need some of the ideas or things that I could share. I love sharing, so don't hesitate to contact me. And it was a pleasure to be here.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Does anybody have any questions for Catherine? No one?
They're ready to sleep.
I have to say, Catherine, that I was really blown away because you'll see in the chat, not just because I'm a retired preschool teacher, so I love where you're coming from and your attitude, but I also practice brain gym. I've done tapping. EFT. I've done laughter yoga, and I'm now doing Qigong. And I found, like I am finding in Qigong, there's so many poses, things that are similar. I mean, I did them today when I took my Qigong class. It's interesting. It's kind of like religion in that there's, we get separated by my God's better than your God, but they're really all saying the same things. And it's practice gratitude, practice happiness, kindness, love. These are the things that all of these practices and all the religions are saying, basically. We just lost the message somehow.
Yeah, no, it's true. We all like those values and everything that comes from the heart. We all want the same thing. We all want the same thing. We want to be happy. We want to be free. We want to be healthy. We want to connect.
And it's also the focus, learning how to breathe, which I find is so important, changing from that shallow breathing in the chest to the belly breathing. And, don't say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. My father-in-law, who started to develop anxiety at 91, I started to teach him belly breathing, and he says it really helps him.
Yeah, it really makes a difference. The older we get, the higher we breathe, and then we're like this. So we need to go back to how babies breathe. If you watch a little baby breathe, like belly goes up, belly goes down, belly goes up, belly goes down. They breathe from the belly. Yeah, we need to go back to our roots again, the roots, us being babies.
Yeah, well, I want to thank you, and it was wonderful. And for those that missed out, at least we'll get to have it on our website, and I'm sure you'll be hearing from some people.
Well, I'm glad. I hope it helps, and I'm here if you have any questions. So thank you to you. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you so much, and thank you all for coming. I just wanted to say that we have a lot, MCLD has still 2 big events coming up. And if you would like to continue to see this kind of great programming, we need to have members and membership support. So it's somewhere on our website. Perhaps Roberta can even flash it for us. Become a member and access all our wonderful webinars and resources. And thank you all for coming.
Thank you. Have a good
Thank
sleep.
you, Roberta, and thank you, Sana and Alice.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Very
Thank
much
you,
Bye-bye.
Catherine. Thank you. Thank you all. Good night.
Good
Thank you,
night.
Catherine.
Oh,
This
you're
was
so
wonderful.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Yes. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.